Welcome to Whole CEO with Lisa G. I'm the best-selling author of The Boss Weight Loss. I'm bringing you the top tips to be unstoppable. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to actually pull up a chair with today's top experts in mindset, weight loss, business, and more. Learn our top tips so that you can have more energy, be fit and resilient, feel unstoppable, unshakable, and unbreakable. They call him the dopamine dealer on LinkedIn. He founded Standout Authority to work with entrepreneurs, business owners, and professionals like you, help you humanize your professional company brand on LinkedIn, which is my favorite social media. And he started his career online marketing with clients like MySpace and Google, and generating $500 million, trillion online impressions for these companies. So I would love to welcome Joshua Lee to the podcast.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm happy to be here and excited to be able to kind of jump in. You and I were catching up about California and Austin just a little while ago. So I'm looking forward to see where the conversation goes from here.
Well, I was reading about how you value the human connection, and I know we talked about that briefly. So how important in this day and age is it to really value the human connection?
I think it's more important than ever. I mean, I came from a world, like you mentioned, one of my first clients was the company most people forgot about, MySpace, being able to go and help them monetize their platform. I helped them develop one of the first social media ads, that were actually built back then. And, there's always this here that this B2B or B2C, business to business or business consumer.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that, but I mean, like, honestly, those don't really exist. They're just ways to diversify ad spend. Every company is run by another human being.
Right.
Most marketers forget that. So that's why I truly believe in H2H. You have to be able to connect with those other people. And now more than ever in this world that we're in, especially post-COVID, like, people don't want to buy from brands. They don't know the brands that are out there. They want to buy, connect, and work with the people at these companies. And I think that's why human to human is so really important these days, because it's around the personal brand. It's about the person, not the company anymore.
I love that. And also know that you want to help people become more authentic. So how important is authenticity when you're doing human to human connection and just showing up that way?
Yeah, I mean, Lisa, I'll be totally transparent with you. And that's the biggest thing, right? It's being transparent, not only online, but with yourself. Because the biggest thing that I've learned, if I look back in, I mean, running multiple companies, but I mean, that led me where I was like, oh, look at me, I'm Josh. I run these companies, but I was hollow. I wasn't really going through a lot, and actually led me to a point of honestly contemplating my own life in this world. And it realized it wasn't about those aspects. It was first and foremost, to be truly authentic on what I'm doing and how I'm trying to help people. You have to be able to help yourself first. And true authenticity starts with yourself, being authentic with yourself and loving yourself for the good or the bad things. And if you want to be unstoppable, you have to be able to be in line with yourself, to be in line with your audience. And I mean, the only way you're going to be able to connect, it's not about, hey, look at me, I had this hardship life. Because I mean, people are playing authentic all the time because marketers learn that. But true authenticity is just being yourself 100% of the time, on and offline.
I love the distinction that you draw without being authentic, not necessarily mean like throwing up all over your audience with like hardship. So do you want to dive like a little deeper into why that's not really what being authentic is?
I think most people are seeing that these days, Lisa, right? I mean, like, the biggest thing is, just like with everything. I mean, I've been in marketing for over 2 decades now. And as marketers, they look for, opportunities. And then that opportunity is there, that gap, until us as human beings go, aha, I see what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so we see these posts now, we're like, oh, this person's trying to tell a hardship. Well, that's you're making it about you. That's not always being authentic. If you are comfortable with who you are, where you come from, what you did in life or did not do, that's what you have to be truly authentic. You have to be comfortable with that first. that doesn't necessarily mean I got to sit on here, and say, hey, Lisa, oh man, look at all these hard things. This is why you should work with me because I had such a hard life. I
Yeah.
should just be able to go, hey, Lisa, this is who I am. I want to make sure and understand who you are, what's going on, and make it about you. And that's truly authentic because I'm comfortable with myself first. The people that are actually going out there talking about themselves all the time, they haven't got that level of unstoppability within themselves first to be able to help
Right.
others.
I just love, there's so much to unpack in this such a short podcast, but I just love that you were vulnerable and shared how important it was to you in your journey,
Yeah.
and that it's so formulaic if that's all people are doing is going out there and sharing hardship. So like, I've been there, I can help you, I was this, and what I really liked what you just said right now is not to make it about you.
Yeah. That's the hardest thing for all of us to do, right? I mean, to not make it about us, but make it about the person in front of them. Because this is why I was, called the dopamine dealer of LinkedIn, is because it was all about how do we actually understand the true algorithm that really matters. It's not LinkedIn's algorithm, Facebook's algorithm, my whatever platform out there.
Yeah.
Those change all the time. The one algorithm doesn't change, it just evolves slowly over time is the human algorithm. When you understand that, it's about being able to give little dopamine hits to be able to put someone in a flow state of of just flow, right? Like if people go, oh, flow state, they're heightened. No, dopamine heightens. Flow state is a calm where two people are having a conversation and vibing and sharing energy. And to do that, it's a give and a take. And I mean, I've learned a lot of times, especially with humanity, human algorithm, it's really being able to give a compliment. Right? Those appreciating someone for something they never had appreciated, especially online, like liking a post, commenting on your profile, looking at your profile on LinkedIn, right? Because we can see everyone that does that and saying, hey, Lisa, I saw you looked at my profile. I just want to reach out and say thank you. Too often I appreciate it. I'd love to be able to connect with you and find out what pushed you to check me out. That right there, that's being authentic. That's being able to go through and that's making it about them first and opening up a conversation.
That is pure gold right there. I hope you guys are taking some notes and listening on how to really connect authentically and genuinely give people a compliment. I like to do that too, because I find that it has a ripple effect. If like somebody is nice to me, or I'm nice to someone, or I smile at somebody, then they can pass it on and it goes out into the world, generating more good vibes, which I feel like we need so much right now. Another thing
100%.
I read about you that I think is so true and so real is that there is no work-life balance. Is that true?
I mean, for my life, right? I mean, like I try to live this whole work-life balance and it led me to a state where I was unhappy where I mean, I remember like just going through and I mean, it just wasn't making sense anymore because balance is unachievable, right? Like anyone trying to be able to grow, you have to be able to grow, you have to be out of balance, right? To be able to
Right.
then go back in.
Comfortable too.
And yeah, I mean, I wrote a book called Balance is Bullshit, right?
I
Because
love that.
it's about life integration. How do you integrate into life? How do you have harmony in your life to be able to go through? Because, like for me, I made business everything. Well, that made me, that really, and then I played as hard as I worked, and I tried to balance the two, and it drove me insane to a certain point. Once I started understand that I've got to be able to give to myself first, right, and be able to balance at certain things to be able to grow. It allowed me to really shift my life because when I was living the whole work-life balance, which I think is so heavy for so many people. When I wrote the book too, Lisa, it was funny because I didn't realize how much of an audience I would get on the female side as well too, because work-life balance is very heavy for a lot of females in this world that are, also, having amazing career, creating massive, change in this world, but also trying to be mothers. And having to balance is just a heavy word for that. And so like when you look at it, how do I integrate the things that give me power so then I can give that power back into the world is a much better way to be able to look at things.
I love that. And I love how you shared that the work hard, play hard thing just doesn't work either. It's like I've heard that so many times. I'm like, yeah, I was in my 20s once and I thought that was fun.
I
But
can't do it anymore.
sadly,
Yeah.
it's a long time ago for me, and I feel like if you're truly doing something that you love,
Yeah.
then it's not a chore to do work during the times that you're doing your life.
Right. Well, it doesn't become work anymore, right? It becomes just part of your life because I almost look at it this way, like work-life balance is saying kind of like you have a work life and a personal life.
Yeah,
I mean, let's just be honest. If you have two different lives, I mean, that's kind of like having two different personalities. We'd be kind of locked up in an insane asylum. I mean,
correct.
truthfully, we only have one life. And once we learn how to live it that way, it's amazing. And it doesn't matter if you're online, offline, in all aspects of it, that is that one piece. And you are all parts of it.
Okay, well, I just have one last question that I want to
Yeah.
ask you since I have you here and you're such a wealth of information on standing out and the standout authority. Is there any advice other than what we've gone through that you want to leave our audience with about standing out?
Yeah, I mean, this is the whole piece, right, Lisa? I mean, I created this company because I really wanted to help people understand that that personal brand is what allows you to stand. This is what makes us, each one of us, unique, right? I mean, unless you're a car person, if I said Mercedes, Porsche, or Tesla, what name comes to mind? Most people say Elon Musk, right? I mean, because
Right.
and if you think about Mercedes and Porsche, they've been around for decades longer than Tesla. But because of that personal brand, what he's done, what he's gone through, it's allowed him to stand out and be able to garnish more this wealth and opportunity that's out there. And so that's the piece, right? Don't allow yourself to be able to hide behind other things. To be able to stand out, you have to show up. You have to allow people to know you, who you are in all aspects. And that's what will really shine in this world.
Well, thank you so much. And I know we're connected on LinkedIn. Where can people find you at Joshua B. Lee, Standout Authority?
Well, Lisa, that would be it. LinkedIn's the best place. And I mean, I love when people reach out to me on LinkedIn and don't just send me a blank connection request, right? I want people to send me a message, Lisa, and say, hey, Josh, I heard you on Lisa's podcast, The Unstoppable. And, I love Lisa because of X, because if they tell me different stories of why they listen to the podcast, what's going on, I can then share them with you. And then you and I can build a longer relationship as well, too.
I love it. It's all about relationship building. Thanks for being a fantastic guest.
Of course, Lisa. Thank you.
Thanks for coming to Whole CEO with Lisa G. After over 20 years helping people lose weight and get fit, I'm so excited to announce that I found the missing link with my coaching. Message me if you want to learn how to look better, feel better, and go faster with a master. Lisa G at lisagfit.com.